What's going on, everyone? Welcome into another episode of the Faithful Dogs podcast. I'm Zach DeFranco, joined by Jack Robinson and Ian Coltrane from the Yard Dogs. Coltrane, how you doing tonight, bro?
Tis the season, my fellas. Tis the
Yes,
season.
sir. Yep. Third time the Browns have made playoffs since '99, right? Two times in the
Third
last 4
time.
years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Two times in the last 4 years. So this episode should actually be called the new norm. You know what I mean? Under Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Barry. I mean, this regime has really changed the culture. I think a lot of people coming into this year were kind of 50-50 on Kevin to see how it would work
Right.
out, with Watson and all that. And I think after this year, not only can the haters are still going to be there. It's inevitable. We see it all the time. But I think after this year, not only has he changed the culture in Cleveland 100%, this dude deserves to be coach of the year. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, man. I've heard a lot of arguments around Shane Steichen and D'Amico Ryan and Dan Campbell, and I think we were talking about even like last week is like, yeah, I think all that's warranted. I think that obviously D'Amico's done a really good job. I think that Shane Steichen's done a lot with what he's had to go through, both rookie head coaches, and Dan Campbell's turned around the Lions. But who has done more with less than Kevin Stefanski? I mean, you lose your best right tackle first game of the season, you lose your best running back, you lose your best quarterback. You're running through two different other quarterbacks. Then you pick up Joe Flacco off the street, and now you're on. You lock in the fifth seed in the AFC, and what is a really highly contested AFC this year. I mean, it's crazy how there's almost like no teams that have really pulled away. Obviously, the Ravens have kind of secured, like, I think the entirety of the NFL's attention is like the best team currently in the league, but they're still only like 2 games out, and the Browns were in contention to win the AFC all the way up until the second to last week of the season. So the way that Kevin was able to really get these guys prepared every week, keep this roster going despite the injuries. And I mean, 20, 26, 27, 28% of the cap is on IR, and you're still able to make to the playoffs and secure the fifth seed and really have a shot at the division and at the conference that late into the season. I think that deserves a lot of props, and I think that he deserves to win the NFL Coach of the Year award.
Coltrane, how do you feel about Kevin Stefanski being coach of the year?
I mean, I don't think there could be anyone else. I mean, I know they were talking D'Amico Ryans, but piggybacking off what he said, yeah, the changes that Stefanski's made and just the next man up mentality. When you look around the league, you know those type of injuries are killing teams. Look at Miami. I mean, they're going a downward spiral, dude. We're getting all these injuries, and yet the boat's still floating. But I'll be honest on this show, I was one of those. No, I'm never a fire Stefanski guy, but I was getting annoyed. There was moments I would, if he could have just done this, and that was probably about week 3, week 4. And just as the season's gone on, though, the difference between me and those like haters or the guy that just won't give this up, as Stefanski's a bad guy. It just winning changes everything, and if you're a salty dog or you're like, a negative Nate's like, but Stefanski should have done this,
Yeah.
I just don't understand it, man. We need to enjoy the ride. We need to enjoy, the fact that our head coach, I mean, there's so many statistics out there, guys, like, he's beaten Bill Belichick's wins. If I do believe, like, there's so many stats. He's getting like Schottenheimer conversation now. Like, we're here, guys. We've arrived. Like they're not going anywhere. You just said it. AB Stefanski. Like these guys aren't going anywhere. So
Yeah.
let me get those dogs, fellas. Be right back.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, dog check, dude. It's that time of the year.
Hell yeah.
And it's just insane to me, Jack, that this guy has, like you said, the quarterback carousel in Cleveland since '99. You know what I mean? Like it's
even just since he's got here. I mean, he's gone through like 6 or 7 just in the time that he's gotten here. I mean, 1 in his first year, 2 in his third year, now 4, now 5, I guess, if you want to count Jeff Driscoll in this year. And I mean, it's just there's just so much that he's had to overcome. And I understand the concept. Like, people want to criticize Stefanski, and I think that that's fine with any coach. You want to criticize, oh, hey, I think that he should have done this better. I think he should have called these plays. He should have better for this. But that's all things that you can do while still acknowledging that he's a good coach. Like, you can say the play calling can be better. You can say this can be better, that can be better. But I don't see how you can grade the performance that he's done in a bad light just based on your anyone's personal dislike of the way that he calls plays or anything like that, especially when you see the way that he's really changed the way that he acts around the team. I think that getting a guy like Jim Schwartz in there has really given him an opportunity to show a lot more personality with the team and with the media, and he's really taken an emotional leadership role as the head coach. Usually we talk about him a lot as like, oh, he's not getting these guys emotionally involved, and he's kind of distant because he doesn't celebrate. And now you see him, he's on the sidelines, he's jumping around, he's having a good old time. And I think he's really kind of embraced that role. And I think that the team has really become a united unit around him, and they really buy into what he is and what he's about. And so, yeah, you can have your individual criticisms about his individual play calls or his schemes or specific games, but I think that as a coach, you cannot fully criticize him and say that he is not the right guy for the Browns right now.
No, I mean, it's just amazing to me that, I mean, technically 5 quarterbacks, this year. Obviously, I mean, I tuned into last week's game. We're not really going to talk about it too much, but I tuned into last week's game. Once Bengals went up 14-0, I was like, you know what? This Browns team's just ready to, get to Houston or wherever it may be. At the time, we didn't know it still yet, but now it's like, get to Houston, get playing. They earned their second season. Stefanski kept saying that you guys have earned your second season, and you could just tell that on the sidelines they were like, I think there was rumors that Miles fell asleep during the game.
I mean, I
stuff like that, dude. Yeah, I mean, I tried. Dude, I watched the 0-16 year. I watched the 1-15 year. Like, I've watched bad Cleveland football, but that game, as soon as Bengals went 14-0, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just enjoy my Sunday. I never thought that we'd be talking meaningless games in terms of we got playoffs next week. Screw it.
Yeah.
Just like that easy with clinching playoffs. Usually it's in the hunt. Week 18, week 17, whatever it might be, you're playing to win and you're in, or you're winning and then you got to hope for other teams to lose, and hopefully the cards fall in your direction. It's not that case anymore, man. This culture is different. Jim Schwartz came in here and built a new culture and defense that we thought Joe Woods was going to get with his talent around him. Even special teams, Bubba Ventrone, just like if you watch the sidelines, man, when Joe Flacco, even when Deshaun was playing, when Deshaun was making those dimes to Amari and stuff during that Arizona game, I was there just watching Stefanski run up to his quarterbacks, chest butting them, man. Like, it's a team that has bought in 100%. And I really think that this team, when all's clicking, when this defense is playing the way they can play, Joe Flacco's making the throws that he can make as a veteran. Dude, we can make some noise in the playoffs. I really believe we can.
Yeah, I agree, man. This is some of the best Browns football, and just that defense is just it makes me, just want to tune in every week. It makes me think that we can beat anybody in the playoffs, and that's the thing, man. No matter what happens to us with Houston, I know we can beat anybody in that AFC, man. There's nobody I'm afraid of, even Baltimore, man, because I would love that matchup. Baltimore, Cleveland. Myself, I'm a little bit of a throwback guy myself. That would be pretty freaking cool, dude. Flacco returns to Baltimore. What a story,
I mean, look at the playoff script right now. Let's go over it real quick. I mean, if you look at it from a perspective of, Browns going to Houston, Houston traded us, Deshaun Watson. That script wrote itself. If everything, was, healthy and Deshaun was going to Houston right now, boom, right there. You're like, oh man, that's must see. That game was going to be prime time, Then you got Tyreek Hill going back to Kansas City. It's like, dude, like the script literally writes the script literally writes itself. Matt Stafford going to play Detroit, Jared Goff going to play the Rams. Like, dude, you really can't write a better script. You seriously can't. Mike McCarthy going to coach against his former team. It's insane. This wild card weekend is going to be insane this year, man. It's going to be so much fun to watch. And screw the
Yeah.
Steelers. I'm not even going to talk about that. Go Bills, but
Yeah.
go Bills for 1 week.
How do you guys feel about the time? Do you feel like just get it out of the way, or are you more of a like you would have preferred a prime time or at least
no,
the fourth?
I love being the first game.
I just wanted the
got you,
Saturday
me
game.
too.
Yeah, I really just wanted the Saturday game. I
Yeah.
wanted to enjoy it, be able to stay up, and enjoy some football on that night. Not have to, drag my ass into work on Monday morning or whatever. But I just wanted to enjoy it, man. I truly believe, and we'll get into it later on, but I truly believe, the Browns can pull this one off. In terms of who I wanted to face, the Texans were not the number one team wanted to face with a healthy CJ Stroud. But I mean, that's just as a fan perspective looking at it. From a team's perspective looking at it, they're not looking at it that way. They're not going, oh, we don't want to face CJ Stroud. Myles Garrett's looking like, oh, I can't wait to get after CJ Stroud. This defense, these DBs can't wait to shut down Nico Collins. Like they're up for that challenge. And why not get a good game started right now against, a tougher opponent? And then you might have to face the Ravens. And now you already kind of got that taste of, we can pull out a big adversity win instead of, oh, we beat a broken down Jaguars team, and now we got to go face the best team in the AFC. So I'm very excited for this matchup because you got CJ Stroud, who could be MVP talks, clearly offensive rookie of the year. You got Nico Collins and him just clicking like crazy. Their defense is, they're healthier again. They're making plays. This could be a bloodbath game, man. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, I think that in terms of matchups, I actually think we match up pretty well against the Texans. Obviously, I think that if anyone had our choice, I think the Jags would have been the best opportunity, but they were so bad. I mean, they got knocked out of the playoffs. I mean, that's just a fundamentally broken team. The Texans obviously have way more talent, and I think I don't even think it's really controversial to say they have the better quarterback, obviously the better coach. And I think at this point, you kind of just have to realize that when you're in the playoffs, you're always going to be playing a good team. You don't get to the playoffs when you're bad unless you're the Steelers. And as much as we want to act like, we didn't want to play the Texans and, they're a tough team. There's going to be no easy matchups in the playoffs. I mean, if you just look at, obviously you have two other AFC North teams in the conference that have both made the playoffs. Those are always tough games. You have, elite offenses like the Dolphins, of course, who have had a rough couple of weeks. So, they're looking more vulnerable. You have the Chiefs, who doesn't matter how bad they've looked the last couple of weeks. And really this whole season's been a real down season for them. They have Patrick Mahomes. There's nothing you can really do about it. The Bills have been on a hot streak. And, obviously the Ravens are the Ravens and the Texans are the Texans. They're a good team. Now, do I think that the Browns are better than them? I do. But again, there are no easy matchups in this league. And especially when you get to the playoffs, all of the easy matchups that you would think are free wins, there's no such thing. To me, it wasn't really a big deal what team we played. Obviously, I would have preferred to play the team that looked like they were more fundamentally broken. But I'm all for playing a Texans team because I think that it's going to be a big I think that for them, it's going to be a big change to what I think that they were expecting. It's going to be a big moment for CJ Stroud being able to get that playoff experience early. But that's the thing. This team that we have right now is resilient. It has the veterans that have been there, know what they're doing. And from all we've heard, this entire locker room is united and completely just set in their ways about what they want to do with this team and what they think that they can do. And I think that it didn't matter who they were playing in week one. They were going to come out and have that same mentality. So whether it was the Texans, the Jags, or whoever it was going to be, the Browns are going to be ready.
How you feel about that, Coltrane?
Yeah, I mean, the matchup in itself, I wanted. I mean, personally, just because like you hear so much about CJ Stroud, but I don't think he's played corners like we have, man. And like, I don't want to sound arrogant. I'm not trying to sound cocky, but I love our defense. I'm one of those, defensive lovers over here, dude. Like, I know we all are, but I particularly enjoy all the players in the defense. Like, I love our defense, and like my thing with just the tournament in general, all we need from Flacco, we don't even need him to be a hero. Just give me 2 or 3 tutties a game, 2 bare minimum. Let the defense do their thing. And I just think we have a great chance. I really, I hate to do this, guys, but I really have high hopes for the playoffs. And knowing, though, back to kind of what we were talking about with Stefanski, to me, he's exceeded my expectations this season. So for me, I'm playing with house money at this point, fellas. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to be one of those guys 2 days later, proud of my Browns. Once the, that's just me.
Yeah.
I think
100%.
I think that Stefanski deserves that from me. But like I said, again, the matchup intrigues me. Like I said, all you hear about is Stroud. I love our defense. I think it's going to be very similar to the home opener this season with Burrow. How do you beat CJ Stroud? You don't give him a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that our D line can just equate to handling that situation. And if he does try to throw it, I don't think he's getting big plays like he's been getting all year. And I just saw a statistic on somebody's Twitter, X, whatever, talking about against like top 10 defenses, though, he's not so great, dude. He's definitely, his stats are way down. And I love our defense. I love the matchup. I'm not overlooking this game, but I'm not necessarily worried about this game right here. I'm more worried about like the future if we get to that point. But this game, I feel good. I do feel confident, that the Browns can do something. And this is a different feeling than I've had since 2020. Like this is different just because like I really believe. I'm really believing this year, guys, and I hope I don't get, my heart broken. We all do always, but I believe in I believe this team can do something this year, man. And I like our chances for that playoff game. I like it that it's on turf. You're hearing all these scary weather games. We're indoors, Flacco. Yeah, Flacco tore it up last time he was in Houston. So, I'm not too concerned about that. I think they're going to be putting a lot of attention on Cooper. So, what do you do in that situation? Just give Moore and these other guys a shot, man. Even
Njoku.
Bell, dude. Even Bell, bro.
He's been stepping up. He's been stepping up.
He don't really drop catches, though, man. And that just
No,
shows
he doesn't.
That's a compliment to the depth that Barry has given to this team, dude. And I'm excited.
I said that, coming into this year that David Bell could be a very good security blanket for Watson. I was talking about that.
Yeah, for sure.
And seeing it this year, man, he's kind of going unnoticed by defenses because obviously he's like, okay, we gotta give like that play against the Jaguars, dude, where he turned around and he's like, oh crap, like I have 40 yards of just green in front of me. You could tell he was even shocked, man. Because the defenses are like, okay, we got to cover Njoku, we got to cover Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore's a speedster, man. He's a great route runner. Yeah. So David Bell is that nice security blanket, dude.
He's had a lot of big plays this season, like big plays that no one. If you ask somebody for a big play throughout the year that didn't result in a touchdown, like obviously he had the big play that resulted in a touchdown, but big plays that didn't result in a touchdown, like one that I would think of for David Bell is like, hey, when we're driving to try to go up on the San Francisco 49ers, there's that 4th and 4 where they get it to him and he stretches to get a first down on that key drive to take us down and get us into field goal range. That's something that, like, I mean, you just, for a guy who gets minimal reps, like he doesn't play that often. He gets out there. I don't know exactly what the percentage is. I would say probably 20% of snaps or something like that. He's running routes. Yeah. And to be able to still be ready to make a big play, and especially on a play that earlier in the game resulted in a pick six was it a pick six? I forget. Either a pick six or just a bad interception that went back down into the red zone. Like for them to be able to go back to him in a key critical moment and for him to make a play and do what he needs to do, it shows that we have a lot of depth on this team. We have a lot of guys who are ready. They know that they can do it. They know what they're doing. And that it doesn't matter. It's every single person on the team has kind of embraced the next man up mentality. And that the injuries have almost kind of benefited us in some aspects because Grant Delpit goes out. Obviously now he's healthy, but now we know what we have in Ronnie Hickman. Now he's getting more reps. He's getting more experience. We have, Elijah Moore. He goes out. Then David Bell gets more experience. Cedric Tillman gets more experience, and now Elijah comes back. Now we have maybe guys who are a bit more confident in what they're doing. Obviously Cedric's in concussion protocol. Hope he gets better for the playoffs, but it's just the fact that the injuries have almost allowed the team to get better and find players. Like, I mean, look at Alex Wright. Alex Wright has made a huge jump this season because he's been given more opportunities since players have gotten hurt. And now it's like Alex Wright can be a guy who you can look at and say, hey, that guy can give me quality reps. And now Obo Okoronkwo comes back, doesn't go on IR, comes back, and he's going to play in the playoffs. And now you have a good rotation of guys like Obo, like Alex Wright to go alongside Myles Garrett and Zadarius Smith. And now it's like this team is so good at what it does because they're so resilient and they're able to take the hits and then improve after they get the hits, and then obviously get the guys back like Obo and like Grant Delpit that only add on to the depth that you find once those guys leave. So it's like such a crazy experience to be a Browns fan. Obviously you're in the playoffs, but to feel like your team is getting better going into the playoffs because guys that you lost earlier are able to come back. Like kind of what you were talking about, where you love the defense and how good it is and how good our corners are. And it's like, well, our defense is about to get better because Obo's going to come back and Grant's going to come back. And now you have more playmakers. You have more guys who are capable of doing it. It's just going to make it so that, you have fresher legs, you have more talent, and you can never have enough talent in the NFL.
And it's not even that. It's Juan Thornhill, after that calf injury, has come back and he's he's getting the pickup speed at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And then even if not, even if you need someone to step up, Ronnie Hickman's been playing great. D'Anthony Bell has been playing solid this year too, as well. It just seems like this whole defense has just been so cohesive in terms of just buying into Jim Schwartz. And one thing I'm very confident with is Jim Schwartz can confuse quarterbacks very well. The schemes he writes up, dude, like, I mean, he's got Greg Newsome, who literally put out a tweet like when Joe Woods was here that I'm not playing slot corner. He refused to play slot corner. He's got Greg Newsome being the top slot corner in the NFL right now. Probably going to get paid here to be a slot corner. Like he's got guys to believe in their roles and play for the person beside them. And this defense alone can just win you games. They really can. And I really think, like Coltrane said, CJ Stroud, dude, huge fan. I'm a big Buckeyes fan. I want him to be great for his career. I want him to win MVPs. I want to see him host the Lombardi Trophy one day. Just not this year, dude. It's not this year, man. And I really do think that the Cleveland Browns, dude, are gonna just confuse the crap out of him, man. They really are. He has not faced a defense with this much swag, with this much hype, a pass rusher like Myles Garrett. It's a whole different ball game, especially in these high pressure situations. Even on the road, I do have high hopes that the Browns are going to go into Houston and just show them what Cleveland Browns football is this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same O-line, too. You got to think about that. So, I mean, realistically, dude, it's the same. They might change some things, around, but the O-line is the O-line. It looked like our guys got back there, a really good amount, man. But I love what he's saying, too. With those guys back fresh, it's basically a full clip. I mean, basically, Anthony Walker would be correct me if I'm wrong, Anthony Walker would be pretty much the only star, or I would consider like top athlete that we would be missing.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, You're looking at a full clip of defense. The way I look at it, fellas, I'll just end with this: with a full clip, win or lose, everything's on. Like you can't ask for anything more than that. There's really nobody, knock on wood, to get to the game. There's no injuries on our D. Offense is offense. Let Stefanski handle that. But with that defense, best in the world, I really do believe the players when they say that. It's all on the line, guys. Like win or lose, I'll ride with that D any day. So,
all right, boys. We said we were going to keep it short today, so let's go over just a few keys to victory for the Browns, and then we'll go over our game predictions. So Jack, let's start with you. Give me your key to victory for Cleveland Browns on Saturday at 4:30.
So one of the major things that I think is big is that in the first game against the Texans, obviously the pass game dominated and basically made it so that we didn't really have to rely on the run game that much. But if I'm remembering right, we only averaged barely over 2 yards per carry. on the day, and they're going to get Will Anderson back. And he's a big run stuffer. He's a really great guy off the edge. And obviously that's going to be a challenge for the Browns because they need to have that run game going. Obviously, yeah, I think that still, Amari Cooper's going to get his, and I think that David Njoku is going to get his. I think that our wide receivers are good enough to take it to this secondary, and that Joe Flacco is going to maximize. I mean, he didn't get sacked a single time against the Houston Texans, but I think that you need to have an established run game. And I don't know whether that means that they need to go to it early. I don't know if that means that they need to just try to fix up some of the things that happened in the prior game where they were struggling. But they just need to get the run game going. They need to get Jerome in there. They need to get something started just to ensure that it becomes something that at least the Texans have to consider, so they can't just sell out on the pass. So I think the run game has to be a factor in this game.
Coltrane, key to victory.
Well, he went offense, so I'll go back to my defense, man. Key to victory, 100%. I mentioned a little bit earlier on the show is, if CJ Stroud doesn't have a chance to be great, then he won't be great. It's that simple. We've shut down people like Burrow and other quarterbacks before, made them look human. We've won a lot of games, above 500 teams, with this D. But honestly, I need a big game from Miles. I need like a kind of show everybody, what you can do. I think this is the O-line to do it. So big game from Miles, just big game from our corners. But yeah, just don't let CJ have a chance, man, and we'll be good. I think Jim Schwartz will. I like, put it this way, Jim Schwartz against a rookie coach and D'Amico Ryans, like I'm okay with it. Like Jim Schwartz has a Super Bowl ring, like I'm really going to enjoy it. I think he can do a lot of things, but basically, for me, last key to victory would just be, get some receivers going, man. Make some big plays. I've seen it work for us before. Use some play action, but give me some deep throws downfield, man. Just sling it, man. Last key to victory, Flacco. Just sling it, baby. We've been enjoying the ride. It's like a roller coaster ride. Just sling that thing, baby. I don't even care if you throw a pick or two. Just run it up, baby. That's all.
That's the thing I love about Flacco too. Before I get into my keys to victory, the thing I love about Flacco, dude, he's had games where he's thrown like 3 picks and he's like, all right, just go back out there. He doesn't get rattled, just goes back out there. Defense still does their job and he feeds off of it.
Well, like you hear there. You hear the mic'd up where he throws a pick and Kev goes, "You good?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine, man. It's okay. It's no big deal. Whatever. Good. Who cares?" Like, okay.
He's a vet, he goes out there. And, he's a vet. I mean,
he has no reason to feel like, oh man, this pick is really gonna ruin my legacy or anything like that. He's already proved it all. He's already got all of his hardware and everything. Like he's doing at this point, he's just running on house money, and I think that's the way he goes. He goes in every game. Like it's all house money at this point.
Yeah. So, man, both sides of the ball, clearly. I honestly believe – I just believe in Jim Schwartz so much. So the defensive side of the ball, I just think if Jim Schwartz does his thing with this preparation heading into this game, I think this defense, especially with Grant Delpit back, I hope he's, 100% good to go. But, I mean, I think it's a tall task to ask him to be 100%. But even just him coming back alone is going to feed some energy into the defense. And obviously just those blitzing schemes. Delpit in the box this year has just been unreal. But I think on the offensive side of the ball, it's getting David Njoku going. You got to get the Chief going. The Houston Texans, I think, are the worst team against tight ends this year. Man, they average like 7 receptions and like 9.6 yards per catch. And who is that dude at tight end this year with the yak yards at tight end? It's David Njoku, man. Yeah. It's David Njoku. I think you're going to see, and Flacco obviously has clearly built that, hey, other than Amari Cooper, Njoku's going to make some plays for me too. So I think if you get the ball in David Njoku's hands, it's going to open up a lot more, especially in the run game. You know how good Joe Flacco is in play action. I think if the defense can, like you said, Ian, if the defense can rattle CJ Stroud early, and the Browns can get off to, maybe a 2-possession lead early on, I think we can just kind of run run away with this game early, man. Get David Njoku the ball, feed off of that with the run game, eat some clock, play action, Amari Cooper. This team's just gonna. I just really have a high hope that this team is just gonna click from the jump, man. It's gonna be a good atmosphere. I think they're ready for this. They're excited for this, and this culture is just 100% different. I'm not going into this thinking, oh man, at least we made playoffs. No, I'm going into this thinking like this team's going to be playing for a divisional round against the Ravens soon, bro. Like I'm really 100% confident in that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm confident in any game they go into. Like
that's
feel
what
like
I'm saying. It's so crazy too, because given the situation this year, man, like when Watson went down with that, when that news dropped, when I was at work, dude, and I just hear, oh, Watson's having season-ending shoulder surgery. Dude, I was like, there's no way, man. After that Ravens game where he came back and he went 14-14 in the second half,
God, that was rough.
led us to victory. I had like 48 hours to say Super Bowl Super Browns with that game and say, oh, this offense is going to turn the corner off of that performance in the second half. And then I, for a second, was like, oh crap, dude, like this season's done. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, we beat the 49ers with PJ Walker. This defense is clicking. Then you go get Flacco, and now it's like I feel unstoppable right now as a fan, dude. It's been a weird ride, but it's been so fun this year, man. This might be the most fun I've had as a Browns fan since
for sure
since I can remember.
And I mean, the thing is, one of the big things that Coltrane brought up is the idea of that, like when we got in 2020, that it was different than now. Like it's a completely different feeling. It's a different vibe. And I think it's like in 2020, we obviously got in the last week. We played the Steelers. Then obviously we went and played the Steelers back to back. And you beat the Steelers, and it's such a different experience for us because it's like we never thought we were even going to get here, and then we get here and we beat the big bad, and it's almost like we were emotionally like overwhelmed. That then when we get to the divisional round, and we play the Chiefs, and then it's such a heartbreaking loss. And obviously the whole idea of it being the COVID season and stuff like that, and it's like we were almost just so happy and satisfied with the Steelers loss that losing to the Chiefs, like we just didn't really. I don't think a lot of people thought we would even get that far in the first place. So getting there, it was just like we were happy to get that far. But now it's like this whole season, we've been through so much adversity, we've been through so much, and yet we're still succeeding, and the team is still so good, and it's getting better, and we're seeing success on every aspect, and we're getting guys back. And I think everyone sees the teams that are in the playoffs and who the Browns have to go through, and we're like, the Browns are better than these teams. Like they can win these games. Like this, like it doesn't feel fluky. It doesn't feel like this is just like a really good run that at some point will come to an end. It's like the Browns are a team that I don't think anyone wants to play. I think this defense travels. I think this offense is real, and you just see every single matchup, and you're like, this is a different team than 2020. This is a completely different situation than 2020, where it's like you're not going into every game like excited that you're in the game. You're going into every game expecting your team to be better than the other team and expecting to win that game. And that's such a different aspect of that's such a different way that Browns fans have really examined and looked at this team and at these matchups that I think makes this playoffs a super special experience, because it's us really seeing our team at, I think, probably the height of its competitiveness since, I mean, in many of our lifetimes. I mean, my God, I've only been alive since '96, and this is the best team I've ever seen. So it's like I really can't complain, and it's just going to be one of those things where we have to take all of this for what it is, because we might never see a run like this again. But this could also be the start of the Browns really turning it around as an organization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I'm pumped. I'm pumped for this one. I've been thinking all week. I've been daydreaming about Saturday at 4:30, man. I really have been. So with that, let's get into our score predictions. I think I know where we're all leaning on this one. If Tyler was here, I don't know. I'd be up in the air and what he's thinking. But hey, man, I mean, all right. So let's start with you, Coltrane. Score predictions for Saturday at 4:30. Cleveland Browns going to Houston.
I'll say Browns 35, Texans 21.
Ooh, big scoring game. Okay,
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I gotta check what the over under is on this one.
It's a 3.5. I'm pretty sure. Browns 3.5, or it might be 2.5. I'm not 100% sure.
What's the point over under? All right.
I'd take that line though. I would take that money line for sure.
I would as well.
I'm definitely taking it. Yeah.
All right, Jack, what do you got?
So I am actually not that far off of Coltrane. I'm thinking that it's going to be 30-20 Browns.
Nice. Another 30. Where are you at?
Oh man. All right. Well, clearly I'm more than confident. Oh, dude, total is at 44. Okay. Clearly I'm more than confident in the Cleveland Browns. I don't think I've had this much energy in forever in talking about a football game. Seriously. I mean, this season's been amazing, but this game, dude, this playoff just feels crazy. I think because 2020 was that COVID year too. So, there was a little like, fans can't be there kind of feeling, but it was still exciting to witness that,
Yeah.
But for this one, I got the Browns 27, Texans 24. I honestly think, I know it's not Hopkins, but I honestly have a gut feeling that Riley can pull this one off. I really think so.
You're putting it in the hands of Riley Patterson?
I am, dude. I am, dude.
Gosh.
I am.
Wow.
I mean, I just think it's going to be a close game. I do. I think the Browns cover. I think the Browns cover minus 2.5.
Oh man, I don't know about trusting Riley Patterson that much. I mean, I have him making some field goals, but gosh, coming down to the wire with him, man, I hope it doesn't come to that. I hope it's a little bit like kind of what we experienced a couple weeks ago.
I hope it's a blowout. I really do, but I really do think this is going to be one of those shock games in terms of it's going to be probably one of the best games of the weekend, in my opinion. I do think so.
I'm sure.
I hear that.
I agree.
Let's hope it's a blowout. Let's just hope it is. Let's just take it and run with it.
But that's the thing. This team can blow you out. When have we ever been
the defense is good enough.
That?
The defense is good enough to just hold you up.
Yeah, if he scores 3 or 7 every drive, or almost every other drive even, and defense just keeps 3 and outs, yeah, dude, we can blow teams out really fast. And if you look at our games, a lot of those TDs guys was like a special teams or some stupid fumble like at the 10-yard line. That's not on the D, bro. Like, you can't expect them, so that's what's really insane is we've been beating ourselves with a couple of those TDs,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, even against the Texans the last time, I don't think any of the touchdowns even came against the first team defense. Obviously, you have the special teams touchdown, and then you have, hey, we're taking the starters out at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and then they score twice really quickly, and then we put the guys in, and then the game's over. So it's like, CJ is going to be a big X factor for them. Obviously, he's going to be a multiplying factor in terms of their ability to get the ball down the field and move the ball. But it's like this defense is just too locked in right now that I don't think that they're going to, kind of like what you were saying, Coltrane, they're not going to give him an opportunity to make plays. They're going to limit his opportunities.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. All right, boys. Anything else you want to add? Possibly an ad read, Jack?
I mean, possibly. I mean, I was going to hope that you would somehow like lead me into it, because I mean, it wouldn't be a show from us at FDP and at Network 216 if we weren't talking about our good friends over at Homage. They're the best clothing brand in the lands. You can rep all your favorite teams, whether it's the Browns, the Cavs, the Guardians, any of your favorite cities, your favorite local, local inside jokes, whether it's a player, a place, or just want to rep your state. They have a great plethora of designs on all of their awesome styles, whether it's a t-shirt, their long sleeves, pullovers, or the hoodies that, we're all wearing right now, or, you got Coltrane wearing his 6th shirt. And again, it's basically any sort of, crossover, pop culture, sports, anything you'd like, they have it, and they have it in every size in really high quality stuff. It's all super comfortable. It's all stuff that you would, be happy to wear. And again, I'm cleaning out my closet, and I need to buy more stuff because this is the most comfortable clothing that you can wear. It's, I almost had to take it off. I'm in my basement. It's super cold outside, but this stuff keeps you so warm. It's super nice. It's also the best quality apparel if you want to support your team. The Browns have had multiple homage crossovers this season. They even have stuff on there right now for Joe Flacco Fever if you're
Flacco
interested
Fever.
in that. They have great stuff for charity for Denzel Ward for his Make Them Know Your Name campaign. So if you have any interest in those stuff, those are also great causes to support through homage. So you get great merch and you support a great cause. But if you want to be able to have the best quality apparel to support your team, support your city, and to support Network 2 and 6, use the link down in the description of this YouTube video or on our X or Twitter account. And really just go check out Homage, and you're going to love stuff over there. So check it out.
And it's 20% off site wide right now.
Oh, that's even better.
Yep. Can't beat it. Oh, man. Dude, I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited, man.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait for Saturday, dude. I really can't. Oh, man.
Yeah, this week has been really going by real slow because we
it
have
feels
something
like
to
it,
look
right?
forward to.
It feels like it. Yeah. You got
that's
more days.
That's the benefit. That's the benefit of having that 4:30 game, though, fellas. Is like I feel like I just have to get through work Friday, and then it's like,
and then we're there.
Smooth sailing
Start drinking.
Here.
Start
I don't
drinking.
want to have to wait. I wouldn't want to have to wait on that second day. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't want to play Sunday, dude. I'd rather just get out of the way like a Band-Aid, dude. And then
see, that's the thing. Like I love primetime games, but that's how I feel about primetime games too. You know what I mean? You got to stay up and.
I'm almost I don't know about you guys too. I always get extra nervous for primetime games. I don't know why. Like I always, like I get like a chill.
More people are watching. More people are watching.
That's probably why. Yeah, I always get a little extra nervous for primetime games than I am for like normal. But obviously for wild card, it's going to be a little different, fellas. I'll have to eat before the game, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's you got to be careful. I mean, you just got to be careful, man. Like the whole. My emotions get, especially me going to a lot of the games in person. Like I can't eat a hot dog when we're like down 7 or we're only up 14, but we're Browns fans, so it might as well be 0.
Yeah, actually though.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel with like this game, man. Oh, go ahead. You're good.
No, go ahead.
I mean, that's how I feel with this game. Like I don't want I don't want this team to like. I don't know. I don't want them to like. I just want our defense to do its thing. I guess I'll just leave with that.
Yeah.
Well, if I know this team, it's that they're not going to overlook any team. They're not going to overlook any opponent. And they're going into every single game to do one thing, and that's go 1-0 every week. That's what they've said every single week this season, and I think that the results speak for themselves.
Bring the boombox to Houston.
Yeah, bring it everywhere.
Start off with some swagger out that visitors tunnel, man. Bring the boombox to Houston. Play young boy, whatever you gotta do. Bring that swag to Houston. Let's take it from the beginning and let's go win this thing on Saturday at 4:30, boys. All right.
Yeah.
All righty.
All right. Yep.
Yes,
for Jack, for Ian Coltrane, thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Zach DeFranco. This was FTP. Thank you. And let's talk to you next week for some divisional football.
Like, comment, sub. Super Bowl,
Alrighty.
Super Browns, baby.